At this high-tech research lab, scientists are developing groundbreaking technology capable of transforming life on Earth. This team is on the cusp of releasing a revolutionary invention that has the potential to supercharge food production into the 22nd century. All this from an emerging innovative powerhouse. This is China.
We are just at the beginning.
This is the future, right? I'm Josh Klein. I spend my life unpacking and hacking ideas, systems, networks, and future technologies. I've worked with some of the biggest names in the tech industry. In my world, a good hack is a smart solution to a problem. You're building this now.
Yeah, we're under construction.
This is a real solution that you're rolling out throughout China.
That's right.
And hackers are the innovators that create them. 5,000 years of history. And it's the kind of solution that only China can provide. That's why I've come here. The Chinese are harnessing their immense capacity to take on some of the world's toughest problems. So I'm traveling thousands of kilometers to uncover some of China's smartest minds, their unique innovations, and join forces with a panel of experts.
That's leading edge, right? That's leading edge that nobody else in the world can do.
An innovation like this, China could absolutely use it.
People have consistently underestimated the demand for connectivity. You could position this to really take off.
To discover just how smart China really is. In this episode, technology that could transform our lives and create a clean, green, smart planet. Creating a smarter planet for the future doesn't mean negating the past. In fact, quite the opposite. To my mind, future tech plus traditional wisdom equals a smart future, especially when the tech is a quirky, out-of-the-box innovation.
And this is it. It's a simple little app that lets you diagnose conditions by taking a picture of your tongue. It's that simple.
So how does a simple app help to diagnose the well-being of my body by looking at a picture of my tongue? It's all to do with a new trend of taking historical knowledge and giving it a smart, new, futuristic edge. In this case, it's TCM, or traditional Chinese medicine. TCM believes that the tongue is one of the key windows into the condition of the body. Mr. Kuo Zhang, the head of Sogu's Internet Health Project, explains the data behind their alternative lifestyle app.
Our product mainly identifies the four aspects of the tongue to help make the self-diagnosis. Color of the tongue floor, and color of the tongue body, and the whiteness and the dryness of the tongue, and the shape and texture of the tongue.
So how will it work? Well, the front end of this app gets me to take a photo of my tongue, input any other information about my well-being, and uploads it all to the application's server. The back end then correlates my self-diagnosis data through Sogu's search algorithm. This procedure analyzes the complexities of Chinese medicine diagnosis and searches out possible matches in the massive database, and then streams any possible ailments back to my phone. All right, moment of truth. I'm curious to see what my results are. Here we got a picture of my tongue. What's it tell me?
There is a cold in your stomach.
Cold in my stomach. My stomach is a little sore today, actually. Is this the kind of thing you would use for self-diagnosis, or?
Yeah, our system provides self-diagnosis techniques. And this app is very smart. It can also give some warnings or suggestions for the users to help them improve their health condition according to every possible disease.
Oh, okay. That's incredible. Well, so what's next for your platform?
We are going to build an online community for people to share their user experience, results, and informations to help people broadening their understanding of the problems. TCM experts and doctors, clinics, and pharmacies will cooperate to provide more complete services.
So this isn't just a one-time app that's sort of fun. You're actually building this out as a whole platform so everyone can learn together.
Yeah.
A clean, green, alternative lifestyle that uses ancient data and fuses it with future technology to better manage our lifestyle and our planet. But this system doesn't stop at providing unique, alternative well-being advice. It can also put you in touch with a doctor. Well, so once I have this information, what next? What do I do with that?
Our system can get you the most suitable doctors for you. And our system can also help you link up to the doctor.
Really?
To obtain more detailed information.
Okay. Then it introduces you to a doctor that can help you with the next steps.
Yes.
Awesome. So you got a list of things that you can do at home. It can put you in touch with a doctor, and you have a beautiful picture of your tongue. That's cool. That's where this app is unique. The suggestions draw on thousands of years of traditional Chinese medicine practice, with huge volumes of ancient writings being translated and input into the system, digitizing the past to make a smarter, holistic future. A future where we continue to learn, respect, and harness the planet's natural resources to sustain life on Earth. China's hungry to evolve cutting-edge innovations that could lead the world in the quest to create the super-sustainable planet of the 22nd century. Here at the University of Science and Technology of China, they're building on past knowledge and evolving a groundbreaking futuristic mechanism that's poised to harness the planet's energy like never before.
The key thing is a thin film, kind of optical spectrum separation technology. So we separate the light necessary for plant growth. Actually, it just needs about 10% solar energy.
10% is all that these plants need to grow?
Basically, yes.
Welcome to a crazy futuristic green tech. This is a miniature model of a machine that will use a unique film that separates the sunlight spectrum to maximize plant growth and generate solar energy, all in one elegant innovation.
Only 10% solar light pass through drop for the plant growth.
Professor Liu Wen is a specialist in solar engineering and light spectrum analysis. Along with his research team, he's currently analyzing what portions of the sunlight spectrum each plant group needs and simulating that with LEDs that emit light at the assigned specific spectrum. I noticed that you've just got red and blue LEDs here. Why those two colors?
It's an absorption spectrum. Basically, it's a two light really necessary for the plant growth.
And that's enough?
Yeah.
Light from the sun is made up of an entire rainbow spectrum of colors. Plants only need a distinct range of that light spectrum for optimal growth. Advancements in LED technology have made it possible to build LEDs that emit light in that distinct range. Professor Liu is using this technology in his lab to make it easier to create a unique sunlight separating film for each plant group, to give it precisely the parts of the sun's natural spectrum that it needs for optimal growth, and no more.
Different plant, they may need a different LED recipe. Tomato, they need more red line, less blue line, and the ratio should be 9:1. Different plant, we take the measurement, how the plant really absorb the spectrum, then according to that spectrum to do the design.
So each plant will have its own unique film.
That's right, yeah.
Fantastic. So the problem now isn't a matter of manufacture or electronics or physical science. It's more of a data problem.
We have to accumulate enough data for different plants.
In order to figure out what the exact optimal recipe for each plant is.
Yeah, to get optimized recipe. Yeah.
Fantastic. The goal is to design a range of light spectrum films that will attach to a full-size version of the machine. But his innovative growing machine does more than just supercharge plant growth. It also uses the remaining 90% of the sunlight that the plants don't need for an incredibly simple energy-generating function.
So tell me how it works.
Basically, we use solar power to realize two functions. One is plant growth. The other is generate electric power. Here is a traditional solar panel. The other 19% reflected, concentrate here.
Ah, okay. So effectively what's happening is it's reflecting most of the light, and because it's shaped like a dish, it's focusing it all on this narrow strip.
Yes.
So this unique innovation uses state-of-the-art optical film technology that allows around 10% of the sunlight plants need for germination, growth, flowering, fruiting, and seed production to pass through the film while reflecting back the remaining 90% onto a thin solar panel to generate electrical energy. This elegant machine uses light that would otherwise go to waste in a highly efficient manner. It's this key asset that has this tech at the top of the watch list for our panel of sustainability specialists. Rosie Pidcock from Urban Green Energy, a global provider of renewable energy. Professor Junhao Chu, a member of the Chinese Academy of Sciences, specializing in thin films and photovoltaics. And Wendy Saunders from AIM Architects, who's been building smart spaces in Shanghai for more than a decade.
So do you think that this is something that can actually be used in China, or is this technology that's come too soon?
I don't dare to say that. I think China is very good at kind of grasping possibilities in technology and anything. They're very fast in developing or adapting themselves to situations. I think we'll then see how they can implement that.
I think it's better for the plant growth. So recently I also read some papers about this for different kind of plant, absorb different kind of energies. And the renewable energy application is very important for solve the energy problem and also the environmental problems.
I think from the perspective of a solar developer, we're always looking at what can actually be commercialized, scaled in a cost-effective way. And at the moment, figuring out how that would be grid connected and then actually distributed to the people that need to use the power is the main question in my mind.
It's a crucial issue to solve as this machine goes one step further to maximize its energy generating capabilities with a unique solar tracking system.
It is the tracking system, tracking the night from east to west.
So as the sun goes over, it moves to keep it on target?
Yeah. Tracking system can give us 20% more power compared with traditional solar panel. The efficiency may be 90%.
That's incredible. So compared to a standard static solar panel, it's 90% as effective,
yeah.
Except you can grow plants under it.
That's right, yeah.
Amazing.
With its potential to produce concentrated solar power, the storage and distribution of that energy will be key to its success.
When you have an intermittent source of power like the sun, you either use it or lose it.
This simple, award-winning innovation is incredibly unique. It generates electricity, organically optimizes plant growth, and maximizes every last ray of sunshine. Its creator, Professor Liu, believes he's on a breakthrough green tech. But do my specialists see the same potential that he does?
When you have an intermittent source of power like the sun, you either use it or lose it. And if you can't store it and use it later, then you'll lose it. And I think China's playing with some really interesting models around distributed energy, whatever the source, solar, wind, ground source heat pumps.
Recently also created some idea is internet in energy. So this is also important. Just combine the solar energy, wind energy, and also other kind of energy together in some distributed regions for the renewable energy application.
The Internet of Energy concept is a connected world of embedded devices that use energy, and as important, those that generate energy. This system is a sophisticated ecosystem with the sharing of resources a key aspect, one that Professor Liu's technology could easily tap into.
So you produce that energy in this marvelous new little bit of tech. Now say, for example, this was a farm that was producing corn, and a fleet of trucks would come to pick up the corn, and there were electric trucks. If the power from the tech could go into batteries, and when the trucks came, they could charge their cars, then you would have a system of energy and transportation, and now food going to where people need it, all working in harmony. Now the question is, what happens when that truck leaves the farm? Where does it stop to charge on the highway? And that's where I think Dr. Chu is getting at more of an overall systemic approach. How are we looking at getting these things to work together? But if you applied China's goals on electric vehicles and smart agriculture, I think you could find a match. It's really bringing together these ambitious programs that China has at the policy level together, united by an innovation like this, and I think China could absolutely use it.
So these are, I think, very good innovation.
The potential is clearly huge, connecting energy generators and users to produce a super efficient and super sustainable model for the future. As Rosie said, the convergence of plug-in or electric vehicles with embedded technologies able to communicate with energy stations to refuel where and when they need it will transform our energy use. If this tech converges with autonomous driverless vehicles, it could totally revolutionize the planet. Welcome to the smart planet of the future, where technology, digital data, and the convergence of old technology with new innovation is set to transform every aspect of life on Earth. And even the motor vehicle is undergoing one of its most radical transformations as data, energy, and smart technology converge. This is the SAIC Motor Company's vision of the future, their MG-IGS. A vehicle connected to the smart world around it to make our futuristic lives more efficient and safe. A car that can plot the fastest route, avoid congestion where possible, safely navigate around obstacles, find the nearest refueling station, and even park itself when you get home at the touch of a button. The engineers at SAIC are making huge strides towards transforming this dream into reality. This is one of their prototype smart vehicles. And this is Xi Fei, Chief Engineer for SAIC's Autonomous Vehicle Program. And Wenhao Wang is the General Manager driving the development of the program. They're happy to share a little techie intel with me, but they're understandably twitchy about sharing the real-time data that the car displays on the onboard screens.
This here is the data that it's getting from the different radars.
Yeah, here you can see the lines. The lines are the lane markings. We have different types of the sensors which is mounted on the vehicle to observe the 360 degree.
So you can observe all the way around the car?
Yes.
Wow, that's better than I can do when I drive.
This vehicle's pimped out with a plethora of remote sensing technologies, from wave radar, infrared optical sensors, and the roof-mounted Death Star-like LiDAR sensor. This futuristic tech has everything going for it. Everything except a driver.
The car's driving itself totally safely. I mean, it's just cruising along. Oh, yep, we're getting past. And you can see that this car knows that it's there. And it's pulling up in front of us. And now our car's keeping a safe distance between us and them. This car's actually a pretty good driver.
The ability to analyze and respond to the environment around it autonomously is hugely impressive. And that is why SAIC believes driverless cars like theirs will have a huge impact on energy use in the future. One inconsistent driver, braking and accelerating, can cause a domino effect capable of causing massive traffic congestion behind it up to 80 kilometers away. The impact could be 2,000 to 3,000 vehicles, wasting huge volumes of time and electricity, and for those still running on fossil fuel, emitting way more unnecessary CO2. The solution? A digital high-tech brain behind the wheel. So, are my specialists as excited about the impact of this vehicle as I am? Here to provide a critique is traffic engineer Professor Wonjing Ma from Tongji University, and Dr. Mariela Alfonso, a specialist in urban planning and design.
这种技术的应用可能会对交通产生非常深远的影响，而且这也是一种不可逆转的这个智能车辆也好，智能交通也好的一个重要的潮流。对于这个技术来讲，如果说我们需要有 cost 的，主要的问题在于我们怎么样去建设一些基础设施，能够让这样一些车辆更好的行驶，更好的为我们服务。
Do you agree?
I mean, for me, I look at things from a triple bottom line perspective. So I try to understand the environmental value, the people value, and the economic value. My work is focused a lot on quantifying the economic value of walkability into the places that allow people to walk. And walkability has so many other co-benefits. It has environmental co-benefits. It makes us happier. We interact with our neighbors more. And then there's the physical aspect of it from a health perspective. You know, walkability is kind of a simple tool that we can use to enhance the triple bottom line.
I take Mariella's point that existing personal transport innovation needs to extend to alternative options beyond smart cars. But autonomous vehicles are set to explode into the mainstream nonetheless. Why? Because they've got one crucial dynamic going for them that us humans are struggling to accept. They're evolving to be much, much smarter than a human driver. The convergence of old innovations with super green high tech is set to revolutionize all aspects of life on Earth. None more so than in the automobile industry. The evolution of the autonomous car isn't about convenience for humans. In fact, the biggest benefits are energy efficiency and safety. These futuristic vehicles are a smart, green, high-tech commodity that's evolving.
Oh, I can see here you have an actual camera view.
Yeah, this is camera view. Down here is the result which come from this sensor.
Ah, so this is a composite image.
Yeah.
Interesting, with an overlay of the prediction of the car.
Yeah, yes.
It's wild. You can kind of see how the car is thinking about the road.
Yes.
Cool. And then up here you've got SICK. That's what that's the LiDAR?
SICK, yeah, SICK is the LiDAR.
The car's light detection and ranging system, or LiDAR for short, is central to its ability to intelligently analyze its surroundings. It fires a laser 360 degrees around the vehicle and maps any detected objects as a high-resolution 3D image. The car spatially locates itself within this digitally rendered environment, which enables its safe navigation.
And now it's slowing down. Okay, the other car's actually coming to a stop, and our car is stopping also. Just smoothly. That's amazing.
Which is great, but we've only been traveling at 50 kilometers per hour. We're now making our way to the high-speed test track, where the NG IGS will propel us autonomously at highway speeds. The question is, how do we humans make the transition to allowing a computer to control our vehicles and ultimately our lives?
It's a big step to get in a car and then have it just drive itself. So you're gonna do step by step, or?
I think the step one maybe do some driver assistant, like
It's sort of like cruise control, except better.
AEVs.
So rather than saying, here's a whole new car, there's not even a place to sit, there's no steering wheel. You're saying, here's a car just like you already know how to drive, except if you're on the highway, you can take your hands off the wheel and it'll steer for you.
Maybe part-time you let the software help you to control the car. You can relax, then sometimes maybe you drive by yourself.
It's a hard step cognitively to make, and believe me, out here alone on the track, it does touch the nerves a little bit. I can imagine that in full traffic, you might want to be able to seize control if you needed it. And obviously, if you're in a really congested area or in the middle of a city or something, you might be even more concerned. So it's worth noting that we're actually driving at speed. I mean, this is just as fast as if you were on the highway. And I keep looking up and seeing that our technician is just sort of sitting there, looking out the window. Yep, just another day in the driverless car. It really is something that you can get used to.
Or rather, something we'll have to get used to as big data and smart tech advance to make our traditional technologies cleaner and greener. Vehicles will have to respond or become dinosaurs of a bygone era. In the meantime, we have to either phase out or retrofit this old fossil fuel-driven technology with some high-tech thinking. a philosophy that's also poised to radically transform China's primary energy source, coal. So we know that coal is tremendously polluting. It's a huge issue. 70% of China's power consumption comes from this stuff. So what do we do? It seems obvious to me that we need to find some other energy solution. Except maybe we don't. I'm about to meet with a scientist who claims that he can turn coal power into something clean. On the outskirts of Shanghai, the Waigaoqiao coal power plant is one of the largest in the world. It comprises 3 phases, all independently operated, and its stage 3 is China's flagship coal-fired power plant. This is the home turf for Wei Zhongfeng, a self-taught engineer who rose through the ranks to become chief engineer and general manager. His mission? To roll out clean, green coal power across China.
If we use it in cleaner way, we call the coal can be green, can be clean.
Wei Zhongfeng's initiative saved the plant more than 1 million metric tons of coal a year and reduces emissions well below the national standard. He knows the world can't discontinue coal power plants overnight, but he's convinced we can greatly reduce emissions to buy the planet time.
We have to do something to prolong this period and let our children and children's children to find a new sustainable energy. That's our duty. That's our jobs.
Wei Zhongfeng has spent the last 7 years developing smart green tech systems, boosting efficiency and reducing toxic emissions to an astonishing new low.
We already developed a lot of the new technology to improve the unit efficiency and reduce the emission. Now, the emission of the unit even lower than the gas turbine.
In China, the limit for emissions, or microscopic pollutant particles in a gas turbine, is 50 milligrams per cubic meter. This coal power plant emissions are already lower than 20. That's less than half of the limit for gas, usually considered the cleanest fossil fuel. The results are incredible, but he's hoping to make his emissions even lower. Lower than even a gas-powered turbine.
You can look at this overview, it's green, but our power plant are always green. Yeah. If all the power plants do like ours, I think the viewing is, it will be better than now.
So how has he reduced emissions to such a dramatically low level? Simply put, his green tech innovations retrofit the traditional power plant by modifying every stage of the process. The cumulative effect of redesigning feed water heat pumps, optimizing turbine back pressure, revising how the boilers start up, remodeling of energy extraction technology, cutting-edge microcomputers for better filtration control, and even simple steps of providing better seals to stop air leakage, all add up to the most efficient and clean, almost green, coal power plant in China.
We always looking for the future. We will develop the new technology and put the unit efficiency high and high and reduce the emission lower and lower.
Okay, so this isn't my area of expertise, but the ability to take coal power, which is the majority of power source for most countries, and make that clean seems pretty good.
China made a commitment at APEC last November. They said we will produce 20% of our energy from renewables. That still leaves another 80%. Which is going to come from natural gas and it's going to come from coal.
So this isn't a panacea, this isn't a Band-Aid that's going to fix everything, but it could be a good step along the way.
We need to pay attention to develop the renewable energy. And gradually, slowly to increasing the percentage of renewable energy application.
Yeah, balancing the two, I think everyone agrees and recognizes that we need to shift to a more sustainable model. However, trying to undo or transition into something that is clean and green is much easier said than done. Every country has to play that balance very carefully.
Wei Zhongfeng's work at Waigaoqiao is a clear demonstration of how the way forward doesn't always come from brand new products. Sometimes, the smart option is to create a bridge between the old and the new, a transition between today's reality and the dream of a cleaner, greener planet.
China is a developing country. We have to do something more, to study more, to take more responsibility for the society, for the world.
Like so many of the green tech innovations I'm witnessing in China, the evolution of new technology is often found in the merging of old tech with new innovation. A clean, green, digitally connected planet of the future is a world where its inhabitants harness technology and the planet's incredible natural energy to sustain life on Earth. Professor Kong Jin-yu has a pretty impressive CV with a doctorate from Harvard and countless international awards. He's one of China's smartest urban designers, and he's tackling his greatest challenge yet, bringing megacities back in line with the forces of nature.
400 out of 600 cities running out of water.
You have flooding in summer and drought the rest of the time.
That's right. Yeah.
This sounds really good. Keep going.
We have a very serious problem. We have very serious. It's a crisis, I would say. It's a water crisis issue. This is a national flood risk analysis.
And these marks here, these show population density?
No, these are flood risk.
But that's where those are the most heavily populated areas.
Yeah, exactly.
So wait a minute.
Yeah.
So we built the most dense urban areas in the planet exactly in the wrong places.
That's right. 70% of the Chinese population is basically living in the flood zone. The Chinese government had to invest billions of dollars every year, try to build a concrete wall and reservoir and the dams to keep the water.
But you're just bailing out the ocean at this point. I mean, you've built your cities in the worst possible spot. How can you solve that by trying to pipe it all out?
That's right. That's why we say we need a new solution. Our solution are sponges that hold water during the monsoon season. We call it a sponge system.
Okay, so you've got widespread flooding, widespread drought, you've got extremely widespread pollution, and you're gonna solve it with a sponge.
Yes, yeah.
I like how he thinks.
Yeah.
Every year, China comes face to face with a devastating double-edged sword: monsoon floods, and ironically, a massive clean water shortage in over 400 cities. It's a huge problem, and one the Chinese government is determined to resolve. Enter Professor Kong Jin-yu and Turnscape, a 600-strong team of first-class landscape architects with a holistic environmental approach.
It's got to be enormously satisfying for you to see that the idea has grown so well.
It's a methodology that takes the concept of a massive green sponge that will soak up and hold monsoon rains when they arrive. This is the dawn of the Sponge City movement, a massive project that is dramatically altering China's cityscapes. In preparation for the 2010 Shanghai World Expo, Turnscape converted an old factory wasteland into an ecological experiment, the Shanghai Hotan Park. A 14-hectare band, less than 80 meters in width. On one side, a grade 5 polluted river, the very bottom of the scale. On the other, one of Shanghai's major highways. Old concrete barriers were pulled down and replaced with 93 different species of plants. The resulting wetland retains the water rather than diverting it, much like a sponge. And it's more than just a pretty face. This living, breathing, cleaning machine filters up to 2,400 cubic meters of polluted water a day. Back in Beijing, situated among the high-tech industries in China's Silicon Valley, is one of Professor Yu's first sponge projects, the Zhongguancun Life Park.
It turned out to be so beautiful. Yeah, I was amazed by this today. I didn't come here for a long time.
No, it's...
Yeah.
So this was 15 years old?
It's 15 years old.
It's got to be enormously satisfying for you to come back after 15 years and see that the idea that you first implemented has grown so well.
we use this method of river edge to replace concrete to deal with the flood.
Take all this hard stuff out of here. We'll put in living material, these reeds.
You get a sponge, all right? You get soft. When you remember you're in the car, you have a seat, you have a sponge. Then when you hit, you're really soft. Basically, it's a Chinese philosophy, like Taiji, soft, not strong. Because when you're strong, the enemy will become stronger.
So you pioneered the soft art of urban planning.
Yeah. No, that's the philosophy our Chinese, our ancestors told us, but we forget.
This is the kind of solution that I think is so fantastic, and it's the kind of solution that only China can provide. 5,000 years of history and experience now focused and used to solve widespread, densely urban problems. And the result is beautiful. It's been forecast that by 2022, the proportion of middle-class households in urban areas will rise by a staggering 78%. This next generation of Chinese consumers, with unprecedented spending power, will be the overwhelming majority in cities like Beijing and Shanghai. And with a growing demand for cleaner air, water, and a better quality of life, Koreanscape is inundated with some massive projects. You're building this now?
Yeah, we're under construction. And not only with this one, we have more than 10 projects, similar projects under construction. Yeah.
That's amazing. So this is a real solution that you're rolling out throughout China.
That's right. And now this solution become a national movement. We call the Sponge City Movement. And we also propose for some American cities also.
Putting this sort of solution in place, I can't see any downsides, and the upsides are enormous. What am I missing?
I don't think there's a lot to say. I think they should just actually implement it everywhere.
I think China, for the past 2 decades, has driven its development based purely on economic goals. And for an idea such as balancing our ecosystem with the water that we're having to manage, for a harmonious system, doesn't necessarily hit on all of those key performance indicators for economic development.
Yes, but now people in China that live here, Chinese people who are gaining more prosperity, they're getting more money, they actually now want this quality. They want better nature, they want better quality of life. I think it's totally possible in China because they have so much resources, they have the manpower, and I think even in cities like Shanghai, I think it's totally feasible to do. We just should do it.
Professor Yu's Sponge City movement has already made waves, with the Chinese government committing 86 billion yuan over the next 3 years into pilot programs across China. To stem the tide of disastrous floods and at the same time nurture a clean environment worthy of a sustainable, healthy lifestyle, Professor Kong Jin-yu has shown China and the rest of the world what smart, clean, green thinking can do for urban planning. Still to come, a smartwatch that looks like a child's play toy, but that delivers a big bang for busy parents. China's dream of a clean, green, smart future was once just a lofty ideal. But in the next couple of decades, it has the potential to become the world leader in creating a smarter, greener planet. But the immense time, energy, and resources required to sustain the economic growth to drive the innovations needed comes at a cost. For next-generation families hoping to realize that dream, it often means juggling long work hours with staying connected to their young families. A smart new future means smart new thinking. One man who's been super smart about how to do that is China's Sogou search engine VP and one of the creators of a very cool tech product. This smart little wristwatch is his brainchild. It looks like a toy, but it's loaded with features and removes the need for young children to have a smartphone.
Ah, here it is. Excellent. Oh, that's beautiful. So you just talk into it and they hear you just like on the phone?
好，我给你演示一下吧，简单。按下面这个键，长按住的话可以说话。Hello， 宝贝儿，你在哪儿？松开的时候它会自动发动，发送。 OK， 因为这个表是绑在我的家庭里面的，我的2个孩子同时在用，所以说他们之间也可以通过这样的一些通话。当你看到这个消息的时候，你点一下下面那个按键就可以播放。
Hello， 宝贝儿，你在哪儿？ Oh, excellent. I can do the same in reverse.
对，你可以试一下。
Hello, hello.
嗯。
Hello, hello. Oh, fantastic.
Each watch requires a mini SIM card. Voice messages are recorded and sent via a messaging function through the mobile network, their parents' phone, and vice versa, regardless of the distance, and it's lightning quick.
So I know there's a lot of reasons why families are having a hard time staying in touch with their kids. Is that what you built this to solve?
最早的时候，因为我自己是一个父亲，大概在2年前的时候，因为工作是非常的繁忙，所以说很少有时间来陪自己的孩子。所以那个时间就是想说，是因为我自己本身是做技术的，我在想能不能做一个这样的一个产品来去解决我自身的一个需求。
你在画什么呀？
我在画鱼。
然后问了一下我周围的朋友或者是同事，发现大家都很有这个共鸣，所以说我就想尝试一下做这样的一个产品来满足我自己的一个需求。
Yeah, you know, that makes a lot of sense. China's got an unprecedented opportunity for people to go out and actually make money. But along with that comes long working hours, long commutes, a lot of time away from the kids. It's challenging.
The team at Sogo have now produced 2 models under the Timo brand. The T1 watch, for 2 to 5-year-olds, has GPS tracking and a live chat function that's only available between parent and child. The T2 is for 6 to 9-year-olds, featuring live chat, phone calling, and a unique first for China, education content notification functions. Now, the team are about to launch their latest version, the Candy Cat M series for 10 to 14-year-olds.
What does the new model do?
它主要面对的它的特点是，主要是有一个更高清的屏幕，可以有更多的这种交互上面的一个显示。那么同时，它也继承了我们汤猫系列的一个跟孩子的一个互动，包括它的一个情感上的一个交流的一个设计。那么当它戴在手上的时候，我们还为它做了一个小的一个摄像头，那么它可以记录孩子们每天生活中遇到的这种有趣的事情，把它传回到家长。那么家长一看到这个图片之后，可以知道孩子们看到了什么，发生了什么，他们可以产生各种交流互动。
Cool, very cool.
What began as a simple communication idea has evolved into a full-blown communication channel between children of all ages and busy parents without the need for a smartphone. This technology is leading the market in instant chat accessibility and is now developing more educational features which link into the school system. It also has the ability to send and receive communication between the teachers and parents, creating a super advanced education ecosystem. An innovation that is just one of a phenomenal volume of inventions that are paving the way for a smarter, clean, green China. From revolutionary technology that has the potential to supercharge food production into the 22nd century. Ideas that could radically transform energy production to power the cities of tomorrow. Smart, autonomous vehicles that make transport more comfortable and safer. The goal? A super clean, green, smart planet to herald the 22nd century.
Transitioning China from its immense industrial and economic momentum and into world-changing focus on technological innovation.